Yeah, here I hope you can see this screen. Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, rest of those two students can please mute your mic. Can you please mute your mic? Harsha is not available. Right now, 8 students present. Harsha is not available, and okay, I will see them. Fine. So we are starting with the program. So in today lab, you have to start. You have to read the data from the ports. Okay. So in a previous lab, we discussed how to read the data from the ports and display the data on the port. But now we are reading the data from the pins. So port is nothing but combination of pins. Combination of pins. Have a 4 ports. We already discussed this part in the previous lab. We have a 4 ports, P0, P1, P2 and P3. Every port contains the 8 IO pins. So assume it if you are talking about P0 port. So P0 port contains the 8 pins, and that 8 pin is P0.0. This is the first pin. P0.1, this is the second pin. Similarly, if you go move forward, then P0.7, P0.7, this is your 8th pin. Similarly, you have a P1, P2, P3.0, like that. So our program is read the data from the port P2.1 and P2.0. This is the port 2 pin number 1 and port 2 pin number 0, or I can say P2.0 is pin number 1 and P2.1 is the pin number 2. So read the data from the pins, add the data and display the result on the P2.3. So now the question is how we can access the individual pins. Okay, so to access the individual pin in a programming, you can define this way. S bit is a single bit definition. Assume it this P2.1 and P2.0, you wanted to give the name this particular pin as a switch. Assume it I'm giving the name switch 1 equals to P2.0 and switch 2 equals to P2.1. Okay, so how should I define this particular pin in a programming? So S bit, I have to write switch 1 equals to P2 cap 0. So now your P2.0 designated as a switch 1. So you can define individual port pins. Okay, now if I wanted to define switch 2, S bit switch 2 equals to P2 cap 1. So here in this way you can define the individual port pins. Okay, and P2.3 is your output. So here you have to define this particular pin. Assume it I am defining as a LED. LED equals to P2.3. Okay, so in a programming, how should I define? I just have to write LED in place of this. LED P2 cap 3. Okay, so this is this new thing we are discussing over here, how we can work on the single bit information. So for single bit information you have to define by this. Secondly, how we can put a single switch is the input. So in a programming, once you define switch 1 P2.0, so this is the pin. So you can put switch 1 equals to 1. It means it become a input. If you are assigning switch 1 equals to 0, it become output. But by default, all ports or pins are output. So you don't need to do this thing. So to defining an input, you have to write this thing. Okay, now I'm moving to the program. In today lab, you have to perform this particular program. Read the data from P2.1 and P2.0 and add the data and display the result on P2.3. Okay, so here what you have to do? Here what you have to do? In this particular program, I'm just writing the code over here directly. Yeah, so here we already defined this thing. So what do you have to do? You are using 2 pins. So basically P2.0, this is your, I'm just writing this whole definition over here. Just put it this thing. Same thing you have to do. You just have to put a header file. Then you have to define the pins which you are going to use it. Just put a semicolon to end this thing. Otherwise you are getting the error. Okay. Now what do you have to do? You have to define your switches as an input. Okay, so your switch 1 is input, so you are defining this thing. Now next thing is your switch 2 is also the input, so I'm defining one. Now what is the next thing? What do you have to do? You have to write it LED equals to switch 1 plus switch 2 colon. So when you are writing this particular code into your simulator, what will be happen? If you are putting this particular thing is a 1110, means like how you can check it? Switch 1 and switch 2 behave like a logic operation because it's a single bit operation. So if you are putting 0 and 0, what answer you are getting on LED? Can you tell me? If you are putting 0 and 0 on switch 1 and switch 2, what answer you are getting after addition? Yeah, anybody can respond it.
0, ma'am.
Yeah, so this
0.
is 1 1. Okay, now if I am adding 0 plus 0, we are getting 0. If we are adding 0 plus 1, we are getting 1. If we are adding 1 plus 0, 1. 1 plus 1, what answer we are getting for addition?
0. Oh,
Sorry?
0.
0. Okay, if I am repeating same operation with the OR, I am saying rather than doing addition, just put a OR operation. So only the little bit changes will be happen. Same result will be there. 1, 1. And what will be here for the OR operation? 1 plus 1 is what? For OR
0.
operation? 1. 1 plus 1
0.
is 1 in OR operation. And OR operation operator will be this thing. This vertical line. Okay. So this is your OR operation operator. So what you have to do? Right now you have to perform the addition operation. Okay. Then what you have to do after performing the addition operation? You have to perform this program also. Add the data. This is your program. Now your code is just perform this thing also. Your D part will be just perform the OR operation or the data, and later on you have to perform E, and that program is you have to AND the data. AND is equivalent to multiplication operation, so no need to bother about it. है ना? So you have to perform the AND operation also, and next is NOT operation, AND. Okay. You have to perform this particular operation. Now I'm moving to the your simulator. Okay, so I'm moving to your simulator. I will show you how I can write this thing in the simulator. So I'm sharing my whole screen with you. Yeah, is it visible? Is it
Yes,
visible?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So I'm moving to the code over here. So I can show you how we can write it. So the same process will be there, how to create the target, but for your convenience I'm again showing how to create the target again. Go to the project, new Musion project, because this is the important part. Why we are doing this all things? Because when we are writing a code, our target is a very important thing. Because when we are building a hex file, right now I didn't teach you hex file. Whenever you are working with the hardware, you have to upload your hex file rather than the C file. So if you are not creating this target properly, your file will be dispersed anywhere and you are searching. That's why I'm telling you, you have to create the folder properly. So it's a lab2 save. Once you open this thing, I hope the screen is visible. 8951.
Yes, ma'am, it is
Okay.
visible.
Yeah, okay. So basically, which IC you have to use? You have to check your hardware device which is connected to your laptop. If your hardware device is not 89C51, you have to use 89S51. Whatever IC is connected physically, you have to put that IC. Otherwise, your everything will be okay. But when you connecting the hardware, your hardware is saying device ID did not match. That kind of error you are getting. Okay, so just remember this thing. Whenever you are writing a code, select the same IC which is available on the physical hardware. Okay, so that thing you have to think. Okay, now I'm just yeah, I just selected
Ma'am,
this IC. No, yes. Now what I have
ma'am,
to do? Yes.
I want to ask one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like you are
Uh,
saying we are using C language,
yes.
but ma'am, the C language consists of na like printf, scanf, or embedded C consists of digital read, digital out. But we are using binary. Then how come we are using C?
See, basically, embedded C is little bit different whatever C is available, because in that particular C you are not specify the hardware device. When you are doing a C thing, you are directly getting a data on the display screen. But here we are directly seeing the output on the hardware device. So we are talking on the hardware device. So hardware device is having their own IC specification, own input output things. So embedded C is little bit different on the normal C what you are studying. It is totally depending upon the hardware device. And second question you asked, digital read and digital write, that is the Arduino board. So Arduino creating their own library. So rather than writing this code directly in a Arduino C, they just given the header file directly. So you have to just learn their own function, then you can use with the Arduino. So this is the disadvantage according to me in the Arduino. You are not able to see directly ki how you are working with the AVR controller, because they just given the all the header file, all the function directly. So student not able to understand. But their motive is very nice. And all the non-engineer, non-electronic person are able to work with the AVR controller, ARM controller. That's why they created this thing. But as an electronic engineer, you need to understand how to directly work on the IC. So 8051 giving the command directly ki how you're working on the IC directly. So in embedded C, you have to write a code as per the pin definition, because everything is going on the pins. But in the C language, you are not according to you, you are not sending the data on the pin, you are just directly seeing the data on the screen, display screen, via any kind of interface is directly reflected there. So that's why this is little bit different as per the normal C language. That's why we are saying this is the embedded C. Okay. Now I'm just going to simulate this particular code. So before simulating, I just wanted to just overcome this particular errors. Okay, so now first I have to add this file, add existing file. Yeah, so my lab2 file is already created. Now I just added, and now my file is ready to compile. So basically it's saved. Now I'm compiling build target. So in this build output window, you can see target not created because I'm getting this error, this plus, because plus is a bad operator. Bad operator, why they are saying? Because bitwise addition is not possible. That's why we have to write this OR operator, because we are performing in the single bit operation. That's why it's saying a bad operator. Okay, so now I'm again saving this particular file. Now I'm again trying to build the target. Yeah, now you can see zero error, zero warning. So whatever we return in this particular file, you can understand if you are performing a bitwise operation. So bitwise addition is not at all useful. We are doing a OR operation. Okay, so here you can see I just wrote the OR operator and then your program is correct. Now what I have to do, I have to debug the code, start stop debug. Then I had to select the peripherals. So peripherals mein I was using IO port is P2. All things are on P2. Just remember this thing, P2.0 and 1 means this is the 0 and this is the 1. This is the input and this is the output, P2.3. So now I have to run the code. Then you can see when you are getting this one, I'm just changing the things values. Then I'm getting the changes. Yeah, see, you can see that thing. If I'm putting 0 0, you are not getting. This is a P2.3. 0 1 2 3. You, this bit you have to watch, this one. Okay, so if I'm putting 0 0, you are getting 0 0 over here. If I'm changing the value, you are getting the change values according to this. Okay, so this is your operation, you can see in that way. Okay, so you have to perform all the programs according to this thing. Now I'm just leaving on you. Please perform this all the programs. For the multiplication, you having an option. Okay, maybe you are getting an error of the this error, like operator error. So you have to shift all the operators of add and or XOR, so your error will be solved. If you are getting a bad operator, it means bitwise addition is not possible. Rather than addition, we have to use the or operator. So we resolve that kind of problem in that way. So till EAP, you have to perform this all programs and share with me on the team chat box, as well as on your